The tool we'd like to model for you now is called Clear the Air for Us. This has been formatted so that you can use it to clear the tension that goes around either a behavior or a situation. There are a couple of rules for using this, and so we'd like to go over those with you, and you can take notes on that. So the first thing you do is you ask permission. The next thing you do is an emptying the jug exercise, which you may or may not have seen yet. Use the empty the jug exercise if emotions are too high or destructive. And it's very important to sit close to each other, knee to knee, and hold hands.
In order to develop bonding, we need physical closeness and emotional openness. And part of clearing the air is that emotional openness. Holding hands, sitting together is the physical closeness. The next thing we're going to talk about is there are two parts to this. There's a speaker and there's a listener. The speaker expresses statements with goodwill and respect. This isn't a time to beat your spouse over the head with what they have or haven't been doing right. We complete the sentence stems, and these are not paragraph starters. You know, sometimes we think we have to really make a point in what we're going to say so that they certainly do understand what's going on. No, these are sentence stems. We complete them as succinctly as possible. And then at the end, thank the listener for listening to you.
Listening is the hard part. Speaking is actually the easy part because you have the sentence stems. The listener listens with goodwill and respect. Now you've got to watch your facial expressions and your body language, because as you hear something, here's one of the killers. You roll your eyes, you sigh in exasperation. That's a communication killer. Chances are, those of you that are watching this do those things, or you've experienced those things on the other side, and you know what that does to you. So you listen. It's hard to listen. You pay attention to what the speaker is saying. The other distractor that you have is a conversation that goes on inside your head, because we are always listening and then justifying why we are right. There's something inside of us that always wants to make us right, and more than likely, we are formulating a response, an answer, a rebuttal, or a justification to why what the speaker said is not exactly right or is way off base. So you have to quiet that conversation in your head. I told you, the easy part was speaking. The hard part is listening. The next thing you do as a listener is you repeat back what the speaker says verbatim, changing only the I pronoun to you. It's very important that you listen to the words that the speaker uses, because they've chosen these because they have very specific meaning for them. And so you'll see how this works when you just change the I pronoun to the you pronoun. The last thing is kind of a follow-on to what I just said. You do not paraphrase what the speaker said. If I take what Joni says and I put it in my own language and I throw my own verbiage in there, sometimes what we have seen happen is that the listener actually subtly moves the speaker over to their way of thinking. Once again, this is not an argument. This is not a negotiation for a new position on a particular issue. This is listening. This is clearing the air for us. It's wanting your us to be as strong as possible. And it's the opportunity for the speaker to speak about something that they want to clear up, something that's standing in the way of a good, strong us. And the listener's responsibility is to get it.
It could be that as the speaker, you've tried and tried to get your spouse to understand your point of view about a certain subject. This is an excellent tool to help to facilitate that understanding.
Joni, I'd like to do a clear the air for us. Is this a good time?
Yes, it is.
Just a side note to you. This is fairly fresh. We just came back from a week-long road trip to Green Bay, and so this is fresh. Joni, I'd like to clear the air about helping me drive especially through urban areas, on long trips.
You'd like to clear the air about helping you drive through urban areas, especially on long trips.
Right, you helping me drive through, I'd like, I'd like to clear the air about you helping me navigate through urban areas on long trips.
You'd like to clear the air about me helping you navigate through urban areas during long trips.
Right.
Okay.
When we hit an area that has route changes and you fall asleep, I feel like I'm on my own and all the pressure is on me to get us on the right road coming out of the traffic.
Would you shorten that for me,
Sure.
please?
When you fall asleep, when I'm going through an urban area, I feel that all the pressure is on me to pick the correct route.
Okay. When I fall asleep, going through an urban area, you feel that the pressure is all on you to pick the correct route.
Right. I think this means that you think I can do, I think this means that you think I can navigate everything by myself and I don't need your help.
You think this means that I think you can navigate everything by yourself and you don't need my help.
Right. I wonder if you know how hard it is to catch every street sign in moving traffic by myself.
You wonder if I know how hard it is for you to catch every street sign navigating through traffic by yourself.
Right. I'm hurt because, I'm hurt because I have to do this by myself.
You're hurt because you have to do this by yourself.
Right. I'm afraid of, based on things from the past, that you will continue to go to sleep after it's been your turn to drive and I'll be on my own.
You're afraid of, based on things from the past, that I'll go to sleep after it's been my turn to drive and you'll be on your own.
Right. I'm puzzled by how you can go to sleep so quickly.
You're puzzled by how I can go to sleep so quickly.
Right. I behave by getting tight-jawed and then not talking for a while.
You behave by getting tight-jawed and not talking for a while.
Right. I would like to see us arrange for a refreshing period when it's my turn to drive through an urban area.
You would like to see us arrange for a refreshing period when it's your turn to drive through an urban area.
Right.
Okay.
Us will benefit from this change because I'll be happy and I'll have you to help me navigate the turns.
Us will benefit from this change because you'll be happy and you'll have me to help navigate through the turns.
Right. I appreciate that you share in the driving.
You appreciate that I share in the driving.
I realize that it is taxing and that you have gotten us safely to the point where you're handing it off to me.
You realize that it's
Taxing.
and that I've gotten it to a point where I can hand it off to you.
Right. I hope that we take a lot more road trips because it's really a good time for us to connect.
You hope that we take a lot more road trips because it's really a good time for us to connect.
Right. Thank you for listening. So that's how it works. And actually the reward at the end, that's the best part.
I've got to say, when Porter was talking about the road trip and me not going through, and me falling asleep, I'd wake up and he would be tight-jawed and not speak to me, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And so now that I understand that my going to sleep is a problem for him, then we can work to find an arrangement that, like he said, that I won't fall asleep when it's his turn to drive. Again, you know, if we don't know what's bothering our spouse or how deeply it bothers, then a lot of times we just don't think about the change. But this tool really helps me to understand what Porter was thinking and what he was feeling, and how my going to sleep made him feel like all the responsibility for the driving was on him. So this problem can be resolved.
Yes, it can.